Scylla, Level 3 Upgrade. For today's upgrade, I'm going to be doing some roll cage paneling. Right now you're probably wondering, what the heck is roll cage paneling? Well, pretty much I'm going to be taking some aluminum sheets, or tin sheets, or copper sheets. In this case I'm using aluminum because it's light, and it looks the best. It's the most reflective, as you can see, and overall it just looks really pretty. Not to mention each sheet is only $2.45. Then I'm going to be drilling holes into the sheets about every 1.5 inches after I've cut it to a specific size where I'm going to mount it on the cage. Then I put some zip ties through it and then attach it to the metal piece of the cage. It's going to be evenly distributed to a point where everything is going to be nice and tight, secure, and also I have plans to mount a camera on the top, and this will be a nice mount for the suction cup that I'm going to be using. Let's get to it. Before I do anything else, I must cut these metal sheets to the size that I'm going to be putting them on. For example, this back piece, it's like a triangle and whatnot, but the main thing is that I could put this on top of it. Yeah, it's 4 inches between this bottom and the top. So then all I gotta do is cut along here with the triangle, and then just get... It's gonna be a rough estimate, and pretty much I want the measurements to be perfect to where it's overlapping just halfway over the metal piece. I guess I'm just gonna open these one at a time, so if I don't need extra pieces, I can return it to the store. The only pieces I'm not going to be cutting for are here, 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 and here. Everything else I'm going to do, maybe even this little triangle area over here. That would be pretty cool. Either way, I just want to see where this goes. You might also be wondering how I'm going to cut these metal sheets. Well, being that these pieces are 16 thousandths, that's right, 16 thousandths of an inch thick, I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife. I am also going to be starting this project today, which is June 2nd. I want to see how long it's going to take me. Check out how this first piece turned out. Not that bad at all. This is going to give you a good image of what it's going to look like when it's done. Alright, so I've been doing a little bit of work on it, and I'm nearly done. I literally only have one panel left. So I'm just going to go quickly over pretty much whatever I did. So obviously you can see I drilled holes and I mounted the zip ties on. So pretty much I just used that size of drill bit, big enough to fit the zip ties through, and then I zip tied it to the edge or to connect two pieces together, keep it nice and sturdy. However, now we are doing the last piece, which I have right here. I already drilled the holes for it, and you can see if I lay this down where it's going to be, that all the holes line up. You want the holes to line up if you're doing this, because otherwise you're going to have zip ties going like crooked and whatever, which directions, and you want it to be nice and tidy, well, as much as possible. And so yeah, that's pretty much it, apart from the fact that you can see a lot of them are clipped except for a couple of them, and this is because I need to adjust the tension. What I mean by the tension is some of these zip ties just connect directly to the edge, as you can see from the side panel right here. But I need to adjust the tension because there's pieces connecting in and they're not being directly connected to the cage. So I keep them a little bit loose, and when I have every single panel on, I tighten them all up. So now we're going to get this piece on. So first and foremost, I need to take the zip ties and just zip tie the corners. So for example, they would be here, here, and here. And then I keep them a little bit loose so I can adjust the tension later. And the way I'm putting them in is pretty side is going up, put it through, just go through the other side, zip it, and just leave a little bit of a room. And then later on I can clip a little bit of this off. Or in fact, I can do this right now. Using some wire cutters, and then bam, it's shorter. Zip tying it from the joints is a little bit more different. First of all, you're going to have to start by sending it through the bottom. Then you have it come through the top on the other side. If you're having a little bit of trouble, you can use pliers, which I have right here. Strap it through, put it through, and then zip it, and of course leave it a little bit loose so we can adjust the tension later. With the corners secure on all the sides, now we're going to secure all the edges. Once all the zip ties are in, now we need to adjust the tension. When we adjust the tension, we need to make sure that all the panels are even with the frame of the cage. And then just keep them, well, we tighten all of them down, and then we clip the rest of the excess zip tie off. So all the edges of the zip ties have been trimmed, and right now this project is actually complete. And I call this a project because it literally was a project. It's not just an upgrade. It's a very in-depth modification that I only made from an inspiration of a Google image. I kid you not. Just one photo. And I created all of this, and I'm just amazed with myself. So I've already drilled some holes through the aluminum so that I can put the screws back in to mount it back on the RC. I'm not going to mount it back on the RC right now because my spur gear stripped. But I mean, like, let's put it on and see how badass this looks. I must say, this looks frickin' sick as hell. I mean, just like, you don't get the effect for when it's on camera, but in real life it looks like this thing's ready to go to the army. Like, I kid you not. This is so sick. Best upgrade I've done so far with this vehicle, and I'll talk to you later. Also, I managed to finish this project on June 5th. It only took me about 4 days, which is absolutely spectacular.